Let's hope that happens, because Matt Dunnigan is also going to give away his car. Good evening. Hello, Canada. Bienvenue on Montreal. Tonight, gray skies, a moist night in Montreal. Maybe a slick track, but a great night for Friday night football.
There's Ernest Jackson right there. He's got to step it up. Talk about a great night football. He's got a great night to get on track. Only 7 catches for 67 yards thus far in the season. Big things are expected from him. I think he's going to do the job tonight. And another guy that's kind of having a slow start out of the gates is Jerome Messam. 44 carries, 187 yards and a touchdown. He's had a case of the dropsies lately, and he's looking to get back on track.
Dave Dickinson's team, undefeated, rides into Montreal so far this season. However, the Stamps have not won in Montreal over the last 3 years. Trouble here. Jacques Chapdelaine, biggest thing right now, inconsistencies. Needs his team to get consistent right now and get off to a better start, especially offensively. Steph Logan is back for the Alouettes. Knocked out of the last game. He got some of the pellets, rubber pellets in his eye, but he's back. Should be a great night for returners. Roy Finch is in the lineup as well for the Calgary Stampeders. Ball is on the tee. Ball is in the air. Rene Paredes kicks us off. Away we go in Montreal tonight with Steph Logan. Up to the 30-yard line, and down he goes there. And Darian Durant trying to get this offense on track. A late flag that just flew as well. Our referee tonight is Kim Murphy.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness, Montreal number 36. Half the distance to the goal, first down Montreal.
Well, they are penalizing Daryl Townsend. Something obviously that happened after the play.
And he's right here. I don't see anything.
Pushes Darian and the Alouettes back inside the 15-yard line. Back to pass, and he goes deep, bombs away, and underneath is Ernest Jackson. One man to beat is Joshua Bell, and Jackson, as Darian Durant, who spoke with us yesterday about stretching it out, going vertical, was salivating a little bit, and right away he does. There's a flag on the play that came down late.
Here's Ernest right here, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Nice move. I mean, just completely turned around the corner.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Horse collar tackle. Calgary, number 11. Go half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down, Montreal.
Only gets better for Montreal, but this is what they needed. And is the one to push the ball deep, get the defense from playing up and jumping everything underneath, and get that guy going. He is a big-time off-season acquisition, and Darian Durant found him wide open.
Right to the red zone, 84-yard pickup, plus the penalty to Terrell Sutton. CFL rushing leader takes it near the 5-yard line. The problem with Durant and the Alouettes so far this season, when they've got to the red zone, they haven't been able to cash to the end zone.
Yeah, he gets take some shots here. And I believe Nick Lewis is going to be a big factor in and around this area. As he can find the soft spots in zone if you get it down there. And we know that Terrell Sutton's been doing. He's been money. Need to capitalize on this quick start.
Alouettes, not a lot of big plays so far in the season, but Jackson's was. Durant stands in over the top, and Taekwon Underwood can't hang on. And so after all of that, the best the Alouettes are going to do here is bring out their field goal kicker, Boris Bede, and we just talked about it. Not enough touchdowns, but a lot of Boris Bede. They love Boris Bede.
Well,
they like to see him a little bit less.
They love him this year, not so much last year. He's really turned things around. That ball just slipped out of Darian's hand, and he didn't find his target, and Bede's going to have another opportunity here. He's off to a great start.
Bede last year just around 50%, basically lost it. Got his jaw back and is back, trying to make it 9 of 10 to start the new season, and he buries it, and the Alouettes off to a flying start. Would have loved a touchdown, but they could not. 3-0 Als, and when we come back, number 19 on the field. That's a magic number, 19. 19 games undefeated for Bo Levi Mitchell. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Some rain earlier today in Montreal, a storm that passed through. Got your suit a little damp, Matty, but you're all dry now. It was a little stormy, but clear skies now.
Right, everybody's got to play wet once in a while.
Bo Levi Mitchell brings his offense on the field.
He's off 35. To flying start, Rod.
Jerome Messam behind him, but Bo goes to the air. Near side to the guy he calls Quay, Marquay McDaniel. Close to a first down. He's knocked out of bounds. It looks like they're going to move the sticks.
Marquay's off to a slow start, but, you know, this guy's not. Kamar Jordan already got 4 touchdowns on the season. He's been hot for the Stampeders. And interior, look at the big man in the middle, Justin Renfro. He was slated to play left tackle. They bumped him to left guard and kicked out Wilson as Richards sits down.
Alouettes defense that has only had 2 sacks to start the season. Not a lot of pressure. Tavares Daniels turned to the lineup last week, and immediately Bo Levi Mitchell back-to-back completions.
Gabriel Napton had a chance to talk to him yesterday. This guy absolutely brings it. He's got a great motor, as well as everybody on that defensive line. A linebacking core, Kyrie's Hebert. Just bucking father time. Just absolutely making things happen. Tenacious football player in the back end. Look at Brandon Stewart in for Ryan Phillips, veteran for veteran. Phillips sits down.
Bo again slinging it, an overthrow this time. And you mentioned Brandon Stewart. Interesting story. Stewart, of course, released by the BC Lions.
Yeah, look right in here and watch this matchup here as he runs a route right here. He's going to get a little move right about there, and then it's like, oh, we're dancing.
There's a challenge flag that was just thrown by Dave Dickinson.
Yeah, and that's going to be an easy call for the officials. It was Dozier in a nickel situation, extra DB out there basically, and he was caught covering one of the best in the league, Marquay McDaniel, who double moved him. And
so again, this will go before command, and likely
Calgary is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference on their player number 16. We'll review the play.
Will be DP when we come back, it looks like. First challenge of the game. Stamps moving the ball.
After review, it's been determined that we have pass interference on Montreal number 44. The ball will be placed at the 42-yard line. Automatic first down, Calgary.
So it is DPI here. So again, Stampeders now into Montreal territory.
It's a pretty easy call. Quick decision. Just had to dance with him right there. Otherwise, he's scoring 6.
Calgary team that hasn't really got off to quick starts by any stretch, even though they are undefeated. Just 9 points over the 3 games in the first quarter. Here comes the blitz. There goes the ball. A one-handed catch by Kamar Jordan. And what a season this guy's having. Put that on the highlight reel.
Spectacular. They got Rob Cote in as an extra offensive lineman blocking off the edge there. Bo throws the ball out there. Not easily a catchable ball, but that was crazy. These guys make it look easy. We see that on a regular basis. Kamar Jordan off to a great start.
Stamps leading receiver so far, also 5 touchdowns in the early season, 4 receiving. It's second down and 4 though. They leave it on the turf, and Jerome Messam powers his way near the 30-yard line. Another first down upcoming for the Stamps.
We talk about Kamar Jordan. He's the #1 guy for the Stampeders right now. And don't act surprised. This guy can bring it. Hey, that's a 1-yard run for a touchdown, and they needed it because that was a big-time stance by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But Kamar Jordan just absolutely going to work over the top, underneath, doing it all for the Stamps.
Had a few issues, some drops early in the season. Said he was working with the jugs machine, working on his hands. Well, his hands are working. Here comes the blitz again, and they got to Bo Levi Mitchell, but they could not sack him. There's Tyree Hollins, who has been doing a little trash talking in the media this week about the Stamps, saying he's got to make sure he punches them in the mouth.
Yeah, this comes from off the edge to the boundary, and it's disguised really well. And it's Tyree Hollins was talking a little smack before the ball game earlier in the week, and he made good on that as they pressured Bo Levi Mitchell, forcing the second down.
Kamar Jordan didn't take kindly to some of that smack talk. Again, here comes the pressure. Mitchell fires, and again to Kamar Jordan, and there's the guy he's been chirping with through the media, Tyree Hollins. And it's another first down, and again silences Percival Molson Stadium.
Yeah, here's Kamar Jordan just doing his thing here. It's just easy. It's against Hollins, and he just pushes him up, runs a little speed cut there. Kind of changed his pace a little bit, and it seemed to catch Hollins off guard. Bo Levi had an easy target.
First and 10 from the Montreal 15. Bo, play action. McDaniel to the 10. Drop there, down near the 5-yard line.
Cote again playing an extra offensive lineman basically to the short side, anticipating more pressure from Montreal, and Calgary goes the other way, and a wide open in the flats, picking up a good yardage here, forcing second and short.
Middle linebacker Dominic Tavel, who had 10 tackles last week. The loss to BC with that tackle. Second down and 2 after the 8-yard pickup. Does this mess him time? No. Play action. What a toss. And blanket coverage. Daniels signaling to the bench that he wanted pass interference. Don Unumba Jr. on the corner.
Yeah, pressure coming from the Montreal Alouettes, and Calgary's desperately trying to find a man and put a helmet on a helmet. And up top, there's quite a bit of contact there, but looks like it's in the 5-yard area, and no penalty on the play.
So just like the Alouettes, Stampeders are going to have to bring out their kicker, Rene Paredes.
It's a good response drive by the Calgary Stampeders. Found a rhythm there, marched it all the way down. Looks like they're having to settle for 3.
Rene does that. 3-3 early on, just under 9 minutes to go, opening quarter. Jury night in Montreal, but some guys who can light it up, including this guy, who wants to get it going with his new team in his new town. Double D, Darian Durant, coming up next. It's on. An exciting one last night in Winnipeg in so many ways.
Yes, yeah, and hard-fought battle, and home team found a way to win. Winnipeg just kept battling, and first half it was just like trading field goals. I mean, Haralahu and Medlack were on fire, 10 of 10 on the night. Well, I know those people are going through some ice packs today.
Yes, they are, including a potential $1 million winner. Look at this. Step Logan now. And Rene Paredes had to make the tackle, at least the contact, up near the 45-yard line. Last year's punt return and kick return leader in the Canadian Football League, with a big one here for 37.
Yeah, we talked about Ernest Jackson needing to get started, and boy, they started early on that first drive. Found him over the top of Tommy Campbell. It's great to see. It's what they need. Stretch the defense. And then Luc Bourdieu-Jordan in the middle. He's the guy calling the shots, setting everybody up, and on offensive line that hasn't given up a sack all season.
Double tight formation here, and Micah Johnson nails Terrell Sutton.
He's like the lone soldier in there, just keeping everything under control, and there he is with a new set of guys around him. Seems like every week as they're decimated in the interior over there in Calgary. And Malik Harris. Well,
he's met a lot of new players, though, Micah Johnson.
Yeah, he is. But Harris is off to a fabulous start. Joshua Bell is a leader, quarterback on the back end of a very experienced, excellent secondary.
It's second down and 10, throwing down. Stamps rush 3. And a nice pass. Pegs one into B.J. Cunningham for a first down into Calgary territory.
We talk about it, just recognize and watch Darian. He said, look right, look left, plant your feet, throw in a rhythm, find a soft spot in the zone right behind Alex Singleton, and moving to change. They look like very comfortable right now. executing a game plan they've been working on all week long and taking it to a defense that's been pretty stingy the first 3 weeks of the season.
Had a number of 2-and-outs. Durant, though, and this is picked. And that one into tight coverage, and Deontay Evans.
Deontay Evans runs the route for the receiver and steps right in front of it, and Darian delivers. This is unbelievable. Watch it right here. He's going to run a dig route. Watch Deontay the whole time. He's looking in, back, looking in, snaps on it, breaks on it, actually runs the route for the wide receiver, Taquan Underwood, gets his 3rd career interception, and Darian can't believe it.
His first of 2017 at 2 last year. Durant now has thrown 3 picks on the season. And Bo Mitchell, quick snipe to Lamar Durant.
That doesn't look like an easy throw. You know, we talk about the hitch screen, the quick screen, whatever you want to call it. That was Lamar Durant's running downhill. That's a moving target going in a different direction for a quarterback downhill, and Bo Levi spots it to him, gives him a little advantage going downhill towards the defense, picks up 7.
2nd down, near the 45. Al's defense, which has been determined to say the least this season. Bo to Messam, and Jerome Messam chatted with yesterday about what he's done in his production so far this season. Said he's been experimenting with some new gloves.
Yeah, he has, and I love what they're doing here. They're going to take Kote, going to run him underneath there, going to slip Messam right out in the flat, and it puts this defender right here in the bind. And Bo puts it on the money, and that's an easy catch for Jerome Messam. Good sign for him. He's really been trying to concentrate. Ask him about his drops, and he says, I've just been not concentrating. You just need to dial that in a little bit more.
And maybe a little more love from the new gloves. And here he goes again. Messam, who played here in Montreal, and a lot of these guys still close with him, like Chip Cox and Kyrie's Hebert.
Yeah, that's a load. You know, I talked to Jerome about his weight last year. He says he's a little heavy, and he dropped some weight, about 9 pounds during the offseason, wanted to come in lighter. So he comes in at a light 252, and he's running downhill, getting his shoulders square. And as tough and as tenacious and physical as Montreal's defense is, I don't care. That's a big back, and it's going to take more than one to get him down.
Most outstanding Canadian last year in the CFL. Out of Brampton, Ontario. Northwest of Toronto. There he goes again. On 2nd down, and he'll move the chains.
New motivation in his life.
Yes.
Yeah, he was very motivated by having his young daughter in his hands yesterday when we were talking to him, and Jerome says he's got a different focus and playing for a different reason now, and he's come a long way. He's matured as a football player, and he's 8 years from Graceland, and he's a valuable back, one of the best in the league.
He has a lot of motivation these days. Of course, last year the untimely, tragic death of his great friend Mylan Hicks. Dedicated the season to him. It's 3rd and inches. They did not get the 1st down.
Well, this is Andrew Buckley time. Guy's been gold at it. We saw him just a couple weeks ago go 60 yards in one of these situations.
There's Buckley, who has been perfect, and this will depend on the spot.
No, it's not even close.
Yeah, it looks like he will get the spot and the 1st down.
Needed 6 inches there, not 60, and he got it.
Cam Murphy signals the 1st down. Calgary Dino product, 2-time Heck Crichton Trophy winner. And for those of you watching in the U.S. or around the world, the Heck Crichton Trophy is kind of like the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, it is.
For Canadian college football.
Recognizes the best Canadian collegiate athlete. And that young man right there, Andrew Buckley's taken that hardware home a couple times.
23-year-old. Backup quarterback to Bo Levi Mitchell. Another quick one. Anthony Parker, another former Dino. This time, Dozier right there to stand him up and put him down.
McDaniel can't believe it. He was just kind of couldn't believe that the man that he was responsible for blocking just crossed his face. And on the left hand of your screen, Dozier comes in there, splits both. both Jordan and McDaniel makes a tremendous play defensively.
Mitchell changes his play here. Play clock coming down to 6, down to 5. Gonna have to get it off. He does. And slings, and it's almost picked off by Kai Hebert. The Angry Bird almost swooped in and had one.
Kyrie Hebert, 11 interceptions on his career, looking for his 12th right there. Just couldn't get the vertical up high enough. Watch 34, bottom of your screen. Vertical, couldn't get there. Well, you know what, he'd love to have that one. That guy's been all over the football field. 36 years of age, Kyrie Hebert is just as nasty and as tenacious and as ugly as ever. Well, I don't know if
you meant it is ugly. Is it angry?
It's in a good way.
Is it? Yeah.
I know.
I would call him ugly.
No. He plays with the.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
With a bad temper and it's ugly when he arrives.
Rob Maver. This could be really good.
Man, Maves.
There it is near the coffin corner. How about that one, Matty?
Second time he's done that this year inside the 10.
So the Alouettes have a long field here. 3-3 game, under 3 to go. First quarter.
Get up, Kyrie's.
The Birdman, soaring high. Red, white, and blue. Darian Durant. With more to the sideline we go. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
You know, Rod, when we spoke to Darian Durant yesterday, there was some evident frustration because of the offense and maybe some of the lack of production over the last couple of weeks. You look at losses to Edmonton and BC. And after the throws that he had the last 2 series, Durant came off and was, again, frustrated. But speaking to his teammates before the game, particularly Nick Lewis, the message has been just relax. We have all the component parts here to have a strong offense. Ernest Jackson, Nick Lewis. Lewis went so far as saying, listen, with myself and Darian Durant and a few other pieces, we could have as many as 5 Hall of Famers on this entire team. Patience is so important. The one thing we don't have to do, the message that is shared between Lewis and Durant, let's not have silly penalties. Let's not go ahead and put the problems on ourselves. Just calmness and go through the process. Rod?
All right, thank you, Matt, so much. Here's Durant, and it's an offside call. The play does not get off.
That's Quan Underwood coming in formation down the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be caught for the offsides. And here,
Offside, Montreal, number 1. We'll go half the distance to the goal. It'll be first down.
yeah, this is just not what they wanted. You know, with the off-season acquisition of Ernest Jackson, certainly Darian Durant, couple that with a couple of really good receivers in B.J. Cunningham. You know, you get Javon Olafoye on the left tackle. You know, they just beefed up their offense, and they just hadn't been hitting on all cylinders. But I firmly expect them to.
Sends out all his receivers and out of the backfield. Nowhere to roam. And Terrell Sutton is dropped near the 7-yard line.
That's not bad, though. You know, you're backed up, you dump it down, let somebody like that, Terrell, who can make people miss at least 1 or 2, and he tries to split both linebackers here, and Singleton and Richardson, and does a nice job of picking up half.
Second down, 5 yards to go here. They spotted it at the 12. Again, Stamps rush 3. Time for Darian, who has not been sacked this season. Tucks it now, takes it, goes forward, and he's going to be a little shy of this first down, but the good news is that they will likely not have to boot this. Oh, no, they're going to move the sticks. They say it is a first down. How about that?
That's huge. Darian, you know, he's like, the ball should be gone, and he knows it. Keeps his eyes downfield, stretches the defense with his legs. He's done that well over his career, and he certainly has the opportunity, and he takes advantage and moves the chains. That's huge for Montreal, getting out of their own end.
Not quite the fleet feet he had a few years ago, but still can get out of that pocket.
Hey, coming off that Achilles, I'm proud of him, man. That's a tough one to come off of. It doesn't seem like he's got any ill effects there.
Ran such a big get for these Montreal Alouettes, who over the last few years have really struggled at the quarterback position, trying to find the guy who was going to replace the legend, who's still on the sideline now working with Darian Durant, Anthony Calvillo.
Yeah, I don't think that's a question now. You know, they're moving on to other issues offensively, and got to get Ernest going, which we saw they did in the first play of the ball game. And you know, Nick is going to get his underneath and need some production from the Canadian spot. And I'll add more to that in a minute.
Durant, pressure now. On the roll, throws, and Darien up high, and that's caught by Underwood on a tip drill on the far sideline.
There's Cunningham and Underwood.
B.J. Cunningham with a nice tip to Underwood.
Yeah. DB's working on it all the time. Receivers work on this all the time, and ball deflected. Got to maintain your concentration. Not easy to do. Well, that's just a nice job of understanding what's going on, and both officials are right on it. Makes a nice call.
Big break as well for the Alouettes here as time's ticking down in the first quarter. Another low-scoring first quarter. We've seen them throughout the league this year. Teams get a little traction, settle in. Looks like the final play upcoming of this opening frame.
Take another look at this tip drill that Montreal ran to perfection. See if Taquan's inbounds or not. There's the tip. Foot is down.
Yep.
Knee looks like it's in there as well. Just heck of a concentration. Boulay over there giving him a little pat in the back. You know, Rod, I mentioned Canadian position there. That's been filled by, or trying to be filled by Johnson, Hedera, and Pachalski in the void of Samuel Jaguar, and they need to get that going big time.
Jaguar, who's been placed on the 6-game injured list, trying to recover from a hamstring pull.
Yeah, just been put on, extended that as well, Rod.
They miss him.
Yeah, they do. You know, Ed, between the three receivers I mentioned, Johnson, Hedera, and Pachalski, they've got 7 catches for 52 yards in 3 games. It's not enough.
Usually that's what Jaguar has, maybe double that.
Montreal, number 58. We'll go back 5 yards. Second down. Quarter
cannot end on a penalty, so we'll try it again here. Another throwing down for Darien on second down.
Second and long. See what Calgary does. Rush 3, drop 9.
That's what they do. Grant, though, just floats one over to Sutton with a convoy. Will not get to the first down marker, so when we come back, Boris Beatty's going to come out and boot the ball away to the Calgary Stampeders. 3-3 game. Rene Paredes and Beatty with the scoring so far. Little Friday night football in Montreal. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? Got to... Into 4 weeks around the league. A little cautious to begin the chess match tonight. 3-3 field goal kickers doing the scoring, but both teams also driving the football, and Matt, including the Montreal Alouettes, who to a man yesterday said, yes, we do have to push it down the field, and they came out firing.
Yeah, you know, talking to Jacques Chapdelaine, head coach, and the guy who calls the plays, you know, he says that everything's fine. You know, people are winning games with a lesser of a pass completion per play, and he says as far as his team goes, it'll happen. And it's a good sign when Ernest Jackson gets off in the first play like he did, taking advantage of one of the best corners in the league, Tommy Campbell.
So here comes Boris Beatty, the native of France, former star at Laval. Down the road, Laval University, the Rouge et Or. Try to boom one down. The first time tonight we get a chance to see Roy Finch, who's back after serving a 2-game suspension. Finch goes backwards downfield quickly as another member of the Rouge et Or, Freddie Plessius.
Bo Levi Mitchell, you know, he just keeps getting better, and it's hard to believe he's 45-7-2 as a starter, and this is his progression for the first 3 games of every season he's been starter, and it just keeps getting better. And he really hasn't been on top of his game. When they beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg, he was off his game there, and Winnipeg gave him fits, and yet his numbers continue to improve.
Came out chucking tonight, 8 of 11 for 71 yards.
Yeah, they dominated the time of possession in the first quarter as well.
Already over 1,000 yards this season. Has Jordan out of the backfield if he wants them. And he threw it, but Jordan just gets to the line of scrimmage.
Ah, boy, John Bowman absolutely just closed the gap on Bo Levi Mitchell. And looked like he was 23 and just absolutely was closed the distance between him and Bo Levi Mitchell in a hurry, and Bo took a shot there.
Second down and 7. Again, Bo changing the play here. And batted down. And Kai Hebert, the bird, is flying tonight. Bat down from Kyrie Hebert, and the Stamps a very quick 2-and-out.
Yeah, Kyrie is right here. Watch him. He's getting vertical a couple of times already in this ball game, and he can't get there, so get up. Yeah, there you go. That's disruptive. That's a knockdown. That is a stop right there. That's huge for a defense.
Kai Hebert, affectionately called the Angry Bird. Wearing that war paint tonight. Rob Maver, one of the best in the game, gathering at his Logan. Patrick levels him, but good field position, good starting point for the Alouettes. Darian Durant and Terrell Sutton, the CFL rushing leader, coming into week 4. Their size, maybe even the way they run the ball, but two things that are constant, that they both are successful and they both know how to carry the rock.
Coming downhill, most of them getting their shoulder pads square. Oftentimes when in the studio yelling at Jerome, lower his pad level and go north and south, and Sutton doesn't have any problem doing that.
Both can also get it out of the backfield and scoot as well. Let's see what Darian does now. Good starting point, in trouble, and that is trouble. Tommy Campbell has an easy interception, the second pick tonight thrown by Darian Durant, and he'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, that's a poor decision, and he's just got to eat this and live to throw another down, and he's under duress, and offensive coordinators, quarterback coaches will say do not throw the ball under duress, and that is Shaq, and he was, I mean, that's a huge play for that young man. And pressuring Darian Durant, giving Tommy Campbell an absolute gimme there. First-year player from McMaster, Michael Kashak, getting it done, pressuring Darian Durant into a poor decision.
So just when the Alouettes had good field position, they give it right back to the Stamps, and Bo looking to make the pay. Over the top, what a grab once more. And Kamar Jordan continues his electrifying season.
I have a hard time believing that this was intended for Kamar Jordan. It looked like it was underneath man, Marquay McDaniel, and he's right here. He's going to run up here, and you're going to see underneath here, and I believe it's Marquay that he's throwing the football to, because Bo is not even looking at. You got two receivers 3 yards away from each other. Something was amiss there, and it worked out in Calgary's favor.
It's happened a couple of times for Mitchell and the Stamps this season. Jordan, 4 catches, 48. Bo again. Fires near sideline, and Anthony Parker fumbled the football, but it was knocked out by the Stamp.
That's a heads-up play. Bo Levi had troubles getting his mitts on this ball and getting it out, and once he does, he throws a strike to Parker, and Parker corrals it, tries to make a move on the inside, stiff arms him. Hollins is pulling for it, pulling it out. Ball's out there. Ooh. You have to slow that one down, take a look at it, Rod. I'm not sure who touched that last. They're both swatting at it.
Dave Dickinson irate on the sideline. First and goal, though, for the Stampeders. Bo. Daniel can't hang on. Flag flies.
I saw McDaniel do that last week.
Flags over by the 10-yard line, Matty. Far side of the field. Right where McDaniel was going.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, well-thrown football by Bo Levi Mitchell. And he puts it right on Marquay, and Marquay's got to squeeze
Offside.
this one.
Montreal, number 17. Half the distance to the goal, remains first down.
Yeah, I saw that coming. Brandon Stewart, he was trying to waggle down with the inside receiver, and he broke that 1-yard neutral zone barrier, and easy call. Fortunate for the Calgary Stampeders.
Stewart's first game with the Alouettes, just signed this week. Former Cat, former Bomber, and a former Stamp. First and goal again.
Give it to him.
Goal and sliding on the far side. Tyree Hollins brings down Marquay McDaniel, and now the Alouettes need a big stop right here.
Play before, Bo puts it right on Marquay, and Marquay doesn't squeeze it for an easy walk-in touchdown. This time, Marquay is out there all by himself, and Bo throws a ball that is not very catchable, and he can't do anything with it after, and he slips down to try to go secure it, and easy tackle for Montreal.
Now, what do you do here now? You got Messam in the backfield. You got to get it to the end zone.
I think they're chunking it.
Durant's in motion. Bo looks left, throws left, and behind Kamar Jordan, a timing pattern that did not work out. And again, the Stampeders are going to get some points off a turnover here, but it's not what they wanted.
I can't tell you how frustrating this is. And the play is going to be out here, and Bo's going to try to stick it on him, but it's great coverage. I mean, there's just nobody there. Receiver, I think, is looking for it high and over the outside shoulder, and Bo tries to bring it back, and they're not on the same page, and that is extremely frustrating for everybody involved. Golden opportunity not realized.
And a night of chip shots so far for the field goal kickers. Now 6-3, Paredes over Beatty, but the Owls gave the ball away, and those are 3 points off a turnover. Might have been 6 here. Good D from Noel Thorpe's Alouettes.
Only at The Brick, your destination for personalized sleep solutions. Introducing the all-new Stearns & Foster Founders Collection, the result of over 120 years of mattress craftsmanship. And it's exclusively at The Brick. Featuring patented IntelliCoil pocket coils, an innovative mini-coil precision edge, and the finest materials for outstanding luxury, comfort, and support. This Stearns & Foster Queen set is now only $15.99. You save $1,600. Or this ultra-luxury pillow top, it's 50% off, only $16.99. The Brick, saving you more.
Do you ever really get so invested in a movie where you're just like, want to stand up and just scream yes?
Yes! I cry every time I watch it. Every time I watch it.
He does it a little over the top, like, hoo-ah, you got us. There's like the twist on the twist. It's like, booyah, or no, he says boom.
Half of these people have vision loss. AMI TV brings television to life, so we can all be connected. Learn more at ami.ca/TV.
It's not a package. It's a promise that keeps the line moving. It's the best Monday morning ever. It's what makes a team a team. It's not a package. It's a promise. That's why thousands of businesses use Purolator to move over 1 million of them every day. So if we look busy, hey, we have promises to keep.
Coming up at the half, 10.5 away. GMC professional grade playbook. Henry Burris on how a secondary disguises coverage. The great disguise. Maybe you can also chime in on that.
Yeah,
Speaking
for
of the
sure.
secondary.
Makes it tough on quarterbacks when you don't get a pre-snap read. They disguise things. Everything's post-snap. Makes it tough on you. Don't have a lot of time there to decipher what's going on.
The Alouettes probably feel a little fortunate so far. Down by 3 after giving up 2 picks, including one to Tommy Campbell. So Steph Logan trying to make something happen here. What a block by Nick Boulay. Near the 30-yard line. Let's go down to the sideline. Once again, here's Matthew.
As we continue our discussion of the frustrations of the Alouettes offense, and I guess we'll see the opinion of Matt Dunnigan on this one, but it was Jacques Chapdelaine who kept asking Darian Durant on that last series when Durant threw that interception, what are you doing? What were you seeing? And Durant kept pointing to his leg and how the Stamps are going for his legs. I don't necessarily think from observation that Coach Chapdelaine was too convinced by that, guys.
Well, it wasn't a great option, a great choice by Darian Durant.
That's a sketch it, move on.
And again, they only gave up 3. What do you think as well? Here's a team that has not given up a sack this season. He's got great protection, and sometimes back there you may have a tendency to think, hey, I'm not giving that up.
I'm not buying that. I just think that Darian made a poor decision, and it happens, right? I've been in this position many times, and you're forced, and the defense is paid to force you into those bad decisions, and they did a good job in that play.
Alex Singleton just had his 25th tackle of the season. Here comes the rush, and Durant is going down. Micah Johnson lowers the boom. There's a penalty flag back at the 8-yard line, and it's against the Alouettes. So Durant, again, another 2 and out. If he was frustrated before, probably more this time.
Montreal, number 58.
Micah Johnson right here. Watch him run a little stunt with his teammates as they come this way. Micah Johnson comes through. When you turn an offensive lineman's shoulders right here like that, well, you roll through him just like a hot knife through butter, and that's what Micah Johnson does. Gets his 4th of the year.
That's the first time that the Alouettes have given up a sack into the 4th week this season. Micah Johnson, that decimated defensive line for the Stamps, still gets to number 4. Beatty is going to launch here and almost had that blocked. Now Finch. A double clutch there. We've got a penalty flag. Roy Finch, who hasn't played
looks a
couple
rusty.
of weeks.
Looks a little rusty. You know, a little unsure of himself. Not, doesn't have his timing, his rhythm down as a returner. I talked to the Larry Taylor, who was a great one for both of these teams. And he says you hit it like a running back does a hole in the interior on the run game. And he's just hunting and pecking right now, looking for an opportunity, and Finch hasn't found his game yet. But when he does, he's electric. We got 2 good ones tonight. That's first and foremost, secure the rock. Now he's in trouble.
Served it. Oh yeah, there he goes.
Just everybody taking a shot at him.
Served a 2-game suspension for positive test on a banned substance, but he's back. And second straight time, Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps start in Montreal territory.
Yeah, and they just looked, he threw a nice strike. I go back to the last series where they did not capitalize on a scoring opportunity with the major. And one time you get a receiver putting the ball on the ground, the next time Bo doesn't throw it well, and then the next time they're not on the same page. And here, they're discombobulated the last 4 or 5 play selections.
Second down conversion for Bo Levi Mitchell. Sends everybody out. He's in trouble, and he's down. And John Bowman adds to his career sack total. And his 2nd sack of the season.
John Bowman, they rush 4, and they bring the 4th man late. John's right here, and they bring a man off the edge late here. But John's going to work on Federkiel, and he just power rushes him, and Bo Levi, for the 6th play in a row, just looks out of sorts.
Career sack 114. Great career of John Bowman. That's only the 3rd sack of the season for the Alouettes. Force the Stamps to kick. Maver. Floater. Logan. Near his 14. Trying to kick it outside, but there's a penalty flag down again. We'll catch up with it when we come back. 6-3 Stamps. Sack master of the Alouettes, Bo Levi Mitchell, his victim here tonight. Imagine what you could have done with a tablet.
I'd have been figuring out quicker than
over 700 yards in one game. You might have had double that with a tablet.
Don't even go there.
It's like a video game.
That was a while ago, but yeah, I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, we saw it come in handy for BC and Travis Lulay last week. Saw easy away from the play pass interference. I think quarterbacks are loving having that opportunity down there to go over game plans and situations so quickly.
Key second down for Durant. Lets it fly, and it's caught. Big first down. Taekwon Underwood has another catch here tonight, signals the first down.
Yeah, watch Nick Lewis. Nick's going to slide in here, and he's wide open. Darian doesn't go to him, and then they got the sit down right underneath in here. and he finds him. And Taquan Underwood, there goes Nick. He's open there. Taquan does a nice job. The guy's high, he's sitting in the hole, and that's exactly what he did. That's a heads-up move by Taquan, because he was running a corner there, but Wall is high. You can't run a corner into the defender, so just sit in that hole. Darian threw it with timing. Taquan did what he had to do, and that was a nice connection.
Taquan Underwood, a former NFLer, played in Hamilton as well, and star at Rutgers.
And he can run. He can run. So can B.J. Cunningham. Get Ernest going. I think stretch this defense a little bit. Get him in big chunks. Been happening all over the league this year in a big way.
Past the midway point, second quarter, still a very low-scoring game so far. Durant, quick hitter to Nick Lewis. Nick with that, I was going to say high hurdle, but I guess a low hurdle.
Yeah. He's come down to classification.
Nick Lewis.
Yeah, but regardless, get the ball in his hands, and Thick Nick is just 7 away now from
1,000.
It's crazy.
Would be the 4th player to ever reach 1,000, and if he gets on a roll here tonight, he could do it against his former team where he started this career and potentially could become the all-time leading receiver. Lewis in motion with Cunningham and Jackson. Durant's looking that way. He has Nick again. Now he's 6 away. And Nick Lewis spinning.
Doing what he does. I mean, this guy absolutely has been phenomenal his entire career. In 2004, he started. He's been gracing us with his presence ever since. Just 6 away from Ben Cahoon. Or from from going over 1,000. He's fun to watch because he makes it happen. He's not going to make it happen over the top these days, but underneath, it is fun to watch.
J.C. Beaulieu with the run here. Big run. Jean-Christophe Beaulieu doesn't get the rock very often. Pounds the ground and takes off for 27. His biggest run as an Alouette.
Yeah, just amazing blocking up front, and he just hugs it tight, hits the hole, presses it, and finds the seam, and then the big man is off and running. That is promising. I mean, tendency breaker right there from the Montreal Alouettes. They like to run the football, doesn't matter who. Baloo gets his chance there.
From the shadows of their goalposts, Matty, here they come, the Alouettes. Darian just chucking. Touchdown, B.J. Cunningham. How about that? He was alone on an island. Darian found him. The first touchdown of the night.
Pressure's going to come from the outside. It comes late. Doesn't get there. Darian does what he's supposed to do. Lift the football. Lift it. Let the receiver go get it. That's an easy pitch and catch. Defender's in a tight spot there. Nobody's in the middle. That's 6 plays, 100 yards in 3.5 minutes. And Montreal pushing the ball deep. Fans are loving it here, saying it's about time.
Big touchdown from B.J. Cunningham. It's his second of the season. Michigan State Spartan. Former 6th-round pick of the Dolphins. And Asagi Odiasi was victimized on this play.
Yeah, you can see pressure coming late, and it comes late, and the play's going to happen up here. And this is where you want to attack in the middle of the zone right here. And Darian, look, he's late. He's not going to get to him. He's unblocked, but he's not going to get to him. Darian gets enough depth. Defender tries to get an arm on him. He's right here. Watch BJ. Right over the top. Gave him a little inside move. And you're on an island right there, and Darian does a beautiful job. You go from the poor decision he made a couple of series ago, throwing a pick to Tommy Campbell, to looking like a veteran that he is. And absolutely does it to perfection there, taking advantage, beating the blitz. And Devon Claybrooks, defensive coordinator, second-year man for Calgary Stampeders is not happy.
Stamps off to a sputtering start here tonight. Just 3 points early on, and now have doubled that to 6. But down 4. Roy Finch following some blocking up near the 25-yard line. And Calgary Stampeders, Bo Levi Mitchell with a treasure chest of weapons, just unable to find the end zone yet.
Yeah, and they squandered some opportunities in the last couple of series. Bo Levi has not looked in sync with his guys. And everybody's got to be on the same page on all cylinders at all times in order to drive the football the length of the football field. And both numbers are not bad, but they have not looked in rhythm offensively here in the second quarter.
Kamar Jordan has been his biggest weapon so far here tonight with a handful of catches. Likely see some more from Davaris Daniels soon. And out of the backfield is the M train. And Jerome Messam is chopped down by Donald Unumba. Close to a first down, though, for Jerome Messam.
Take a big tree down low, and that's exactly what Unumba does. Not too low, right below the hip. Just clean, hard tackle right there. Drives right through his left quad and takes Jerome down, not after he picks up 8.5.
Unumba, who came to the CFL after consulting with Nick Lewis, also a product of Southern Arkansas. Second down. Fumbled football. Could be a scoop here. It is a scoop. It's a score as well for Brandon Dozier. Unbelievable. And penalty flags everywhere here as it's on in the end zone. The Montreal Alouettes scoop and score. And there are flags everywhere. This was after the touchdown. That fumble will count as a touchdown return for Brandon Dozier. It's the stuff that went on afterwards we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, just watch the big boys right here. Watch how they just move this way, and they get Jerome Messam moving laterally across the football field, and that's what you want to do with the big back. Penetration right there, and the ball is out.
Free safety, Chris Aki.
That's just kicking around right there, and it's happening fast down there, and Dozier takes it in.
Looked like Chip Cox was involved in the altercation after.
I think Montreal's smelling blood in the water, and they're attacking, and that's a heck of a play.
Chris Aki's been in on a number of plays on some blitzes here tonight. The former first-round pick of the Owls out of Wilfrid Laurier.
And Ron, those are two tremendous plays by Unumba and Aki back-to-back, both on Messam. And you don't know how that first hit that Unumba put on Messam affected him, but they got him going sideline to sideline as opposed to north and south on second and short. And Aki popped that ball out, and Dozier takes it in. And they are attacking, and they're in attack mode right now. And this is what the Montreal team aspires to be every time they take the field. And it's working for them. Going over the top, tough, hard-nosed defense, and Beatty's on his game. Those are all three facets working early here for Montreal.
So we'll have to see again. The officials are conferring here. Brandon Dozier's got a souvenir for CFL touchdown. There it is. Jerome Messam, who normally sure-handed, but Chris Aki came flying through. This is a Montreal D, by the way, that has lost Bear Woods, of course. They released Winston Venable. Ryan Phillips not in the lineup tonight. Brandon Stewart comes in for him. They've done a lot of juggling and plugging and playing, and guess what? They're still in attack mode.
This could be a frustration penalty on Jerome.
Here it is.
Jerome is right here, and you'll see him right here.
Chip Cox.
He just got a helmet there. He's got Cox's helmet right there. And
they've been able to rip that helmet off, it looked like, or something like that. So likely a roughing call of some sort.
the last couple of series, Rod, 3 series now, Calgary has not been in sync offensively, and Montreal has taken it to them.
Apparently, Jerome Messam is questioning whether he's still going to be in this ball game. So,
if he's questioning that, then
he did something.
Yeah, he did something that is not supposed to happen out there.
Still awaiting the convert. Kind of a shocking first half for the Calgary Stampeders, who just have not had much success coming to this city over the last 3 years.
Well, it's a tough place to play. A hard-nosed defense, looking for some direction and some offensive production, and
and better than their 1-2 record.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll see it again. What exactly transpired?
Yeah, Jerome excuse me, I'll try that again, folks. Sorry, he's right here, and this will be a better view.
Following the score of a touchdown, we have a major foul, rough play, disqualification. Calgary, number 33. On a separate play, we also have a major foul, face mask, Calgary, number 33. After the play, we have objectionable conduct, Montreal, number 55. These penalties will be balanced on the kickoff line, and we're going to come up 30 yards.
Wow, 30 yards on this.
That'll be a pooch kickoff.
Here's the worst news of all for the Calgary Stampeders, is they lose one of their most valuable players in Jerome Messam.
Well, he knew that he was on the hot seat and had done something wrong, and the officials caught it and deemed it unnecessary roughness, where he was kicked out of the football game, and that's a huge blow to a team that's already in disarray offensively. Montreal's got the upper hand and feasting on the Calgary Stampeders right now.
They also don't have Terry Williams in the lineup this week, so they'll use a national as a backup here. But Brandon Dozier and Chris Aki combine to give the Alouettes right now a 10-point, which could soon be an 11-point advantage. That's what you have to do against a team that's been so good for so long. You have to build a lead, and you have to hang on. Beatty has missed his first convert of 2017, so the lead is 10. Boy, a lot going on. Alouettes get the touchdown. 13 Montreal points in a minute and a half, and Messam is gone. Yards in penalties, bringing the ball up to the 45-yard line. So this is pooch kick time, you'd have to think, for Boris Beatty.
Yeah, a couple options here. Kick it high and pooch it in there, or just slam it out of the back of the side of the end zone. I would think you're just going to try to pooch it. That's exactly what they do.
And make it a long field for Roy Finch and the Stampeders. Do you have Brandon Dozier in fantasy this week?
Did not. I imagine he'd
What happened to you?
Well,
come on. Didn't you think that was going to happen?
No. Watch this right here. This is Westerman, penetration. Bowman, penetration. Aki comes off the edge, and the penetration absolutely makes Jerome Messam go sideline to sideline, and there's Aki, punches it out, and here comes Dozier. Boy, this is like a domino effect. Tip back to Dozier. That's just beautiful. That is teamwork right there by Montreal's tenacious D.
2 heavy minuses for Jerome Messam. The fumble for sure, but the worst getting booted out. Mitchell, though, goes throwing down the sideline. Trying to run underneath it. Tavares Daniels on that far sideline, trying to lay out for it. So 2nd and 10. And how about this defensive effort tonight by the Montreal Alouettes?
Yeah. Well, they've been stout all year, giving up just over 20 points a game, second best in the Canadian Football League. And they are shutting down a high-potent offense, the best scoring offense in the Canadian Football League, who averages just over 34 points. And making it look pretty easy, frustrated Bo Levi Mitchell.
Stamps 0 for 6, their last second down conversions, 3 of 10 in the game. Bo throws, and again another knockdown, and Brandon Dozier is having a night to remember.
Yeah, he certainly is. University of North Carolina Charlotte product is jumping routes now. Marquet doesn't get him out of his back pedal. He breaks on it nicely and kind of slews around his inside and knocks it out with his right arm. Tremendous play, forcing Rob Maver to take the field.
By Mitchell, one for his last. And here, a 2-and-out. They're going to get the ball back again and try to extend this lead before halftime. And you have to do it against a team like the Stamps that have been so good for so long on the road. Not tonight, though. Big one. Logan looking for a block. Steph Logan to the 45-yard line. Looked like it might have been a high hit there as well, close to the grill, but Steph Logan feeling it here tonight. And right now, so are the Alouettes. They've got their crowd into it.
Yeah, as Steph Logan should, man. He's breaking tackles there, and believe me, he knows who he's up against. Next to him, and Roy Finch, some tremendous returners here, and they're battling out right now. Steph Logan, there's that high shot right there in the cross. Now he just kind of turned his shoulders.
Shoulder pad.
Yeah, but watch this talent. Not today. Steph Logan stepping up, saying, "No, I'm better than Roy Finch," and in the first half he has been.
And around here for Ernest Jackson's got some room now. Jackson with a collision and keeps going, takes on 4 Stamps down there.
He was pointing out, get that man, get that man. Uh-oh, here we go. Late flag.
Joshua Bell. And was this a taunting penalty?
Ernest is coming around the corner.
Play, objection of conduct. Montreal, number 9. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Be second down.
So some players losing some composure here as we get to see a little hostility.
Just play the game. Ernest is going to come flying over here, get pitch, and then he's out. He's pointing. And then here comes Bell. Wow. Ernest turns his shoulders and says, "Get off of me," and then there's the taunt. I don't see much there. Just letting him know that who it is who trucked him.
2 minutes to go before halftime, 2nd and 13. Darian's going to keep it on the turf again. Terrell Sutton churning, and Alex Singleton rips him down.
Rod, I can tell you from experience of getting hit a lot and run over several times that you don't have to stand over a player. You just walk away, and that player will be looking for who just laid that lick on him, and they'll get the license plate of that truck that happened, that caused the damage. And Ejac, he knows better.
That was the message being sent just there.
Yeah, just walk away. It was 9 that got you, and if you don't get it now, you'll get it later.
Boris Beatty, who has plenty of leg, of course, trying to make this a 13-point advantage. We'll look for that home run swing. He successfully boots it through. High snap, though, and we've got a whistle.
That's a good thing.
Time count violation.
Oh, no.
Montreal. That's a 10-yard penalty.
Oh,
third down.
10-yard penalty.
Last 3 minutes, and time count will cost you dearly. Lost it down.
Are they still going to? No, they're going to send Vernon Adams to the sideline. And Beatty will still stay out to kick, but it's a punt now. So Stampeders win this possession. Costly penalty by Ernest Jackson. We've seen that both sides tonight. Now Roy Finch maybe could provide an answer with a big return here before halftime.
Yeah, make a statement himself. See if he responds to what Steph Logan's been putting out here the first 30 minutes.
Beatty, who's booted 3 inside the 10-yard line this season.
Not a chance.
Finch tight ropes the sideline, and so Bo Levi Mitchell will put his 92nd offense to work here. 9-yard return by Finch on a 40-yard boot.
95 seconds to go in the half. He can score twice in that time in the Canadian Football League. Bo knows that. Not necessary to push it down the field and try to get too aggressive, but like he did last series, they need to find a rhythm before half and see if they can't stop the bleed. Dave Dickinson, head coach, second-year man at the helm, looking over that that play call sheet, scanning it, looking for something to help beat this Montreal D.
Well, they don't have number 13 anymore. Roy Finch stays in. Number 33, rather. And there's Tavares Daniels.
Go.
No mess. So Finch is in. Backfield as well. And Finch, of course, can also play as a scat back.
And not ideal for the Calgary Stampeders. You lose your best running back. And one of the best in the league. And Roy Finch, your returner, he's going to have to extend himself a little bit in this offensive structure now, get more touches than expected.
Finch beside Bo. Stays into block. Good job there. And Marquay McDaniel stopped by Chip Cox. Half the first down yardage.
This is what you need to do. Get in a rhythm. Plenty of time on the clock. No reason to panic. Go no huddle. Bo's taking control out there.
That's what's a big advantage for this guy. He rarely panics.
Well, he's been out of sorts here in the second quarter. That's for sure.
Quick hitter again. First down. Stampeders continue to move the football, getting close to Paredes territory, but they like to take it to the end zone. Kamar Jordan has another catch.
Going 3 wide in the field, 2 to the boundary. Bo's going no huddle. 52 seconds on the clock and counting, and this is what you live for as a quarterback, situations like this.
Makes time go super slow. 3-man rush, they drop 9. There's Finch out of the backfield. He's looking for the first down marker and lays out an elbow on Don Unumba.
Oh, man.
Wow, that's, by the way, that's 5'7", and that's 6'1" on the other side.
That's
and
leverage.
About 40 pounds.
That's leverage, and he's not very happy because he's been getting tattooed on returns here in the first half, and he gets a chance to deliver his own.
Whoa. Gee.
Yeah, I love that. You gotta love that.
It's a Gordie Howe elbow right there.
Want some, get some. Bad enough, take some, and Finch just did.
Second down and 2. Roy Finch now filling in, and there's an offside. And to the Alouettes, were they drawn off?
Yard penalty, first down, Calgary.
Bar Westerman, one of the former Lions, now with the Montreal Alouettes.
I got a chance to work on a swim move there. It's pretty nice. Technique opportunity there, home skills a little bit.
Won't be working on it right now, though. Goes to the sideline.
Well, he's got to have a blow.
37 to go before halftime. Bo getting closer to field goal range. Not heard a lot from Lamar Durant tonight. Bo looking here to Durant.
Montreal's going to give that to him. It's 32 seconds now on the clock, and they're playing deep and playing off and give them underneath things, rally the football, and get a stop here. Force a long field goal.
Stewart goes to the other side now, and we'll watch Daniels. Quick hitter over the top. Mark Jordan again. And it's another first down. More time to play with. 22 seconds. Clock ticking down. Take a couple shots at the end zone for sure.
Yep. Fresh set of downs. Push it down there. See if Montreal's going to give it to him. Got an opportunity maybe up top.
Can they drop 9?
Going there.
There he goes. Chucking now. Could be picked though. There's another overthrow from Bo Levi Mitchell tonight, looking for Daniels on a fly route. There's the veteran Brandon Stewart.
Yeah, just watch this right here as this receiver's running up, and watch Chip Cox. He's going to kick out on him. They're banging each other right there. Referees let it go.
Dave Dickinson screaming on the sideline. Looked like he wanted somebody off the field. 10 seconds. Has to be quick. They have to bring Paredes up. Jordan, 7 seconds down to 6 now, and they didn't get as much time as they wanted, so 5 seconds left, and Rene Paredes has got a chance to make this a little closer.
And people that don't know, it's not time on the clock. You have a full 20-second clock here, so the time can kick down to 3 zeros. No time on the play clock, but, excuse me, no time on the normal clock, you see it clicking down. You still got 13 seconds on the play clock and plenty of time here to take your time and go through the normal process.
Final play before halftime. What has been a tug-of-war here tonight. Defensively for the Alouettes, who have come up with some big turnovers. Stamps 2, Paredes 3 field goals tonight. 7-point ball game. Friday night football. Calgary Stampeders win streak in Montreal in jeopardy. Let's
see if we can win this thing.
And offensively, how do you get drives going, sustaining drives and getting points on the board?
I mean, we had drives going. We're playing a great defense. We had drives going. We just can't score touchdowns. We're inside the 10 3 times. So we got to make sure we get down there and finish the plays and ultimately just try to gut it out.
I mean, it happens, right? Bo Levi, 20 of 29, 181 yards in the first half.
Alouette team that's lost 2 in a row, and they'll tell you they should be 3-0. Let games slip away and left too many points on the field. Rob Cote out of the backfield will get some reps as well, but could not catch up with that. Under duress again, Bo had to throw that a little quick.
No. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're calling maybe a late shot on quarterback.
In the previous play for defensive pass interference on their number 89. We'll review the play.
Now we got to search for where this happened on the football field, as the officials do and the video review system has to do. Right there, you see him grabbing him, but the ball's thrown already. I just think that was a poor release by DeVaris Daniels.
See, and then that's where the sticky issue lies in some of the challenge flags that are thrown. And you know, you have no problem. That likely is a DPI in many minds if the ball is thrown to DeVaris Daniels.
Yes, but he's not trying to run a route there. He's trying to block, and he was trying to get leverage on the corner. And I can tell you that I think the ball was already thrown.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. There's no pass interference. Calgary has charged their first team timeout.
So Calgary loses a timeout here because of that unsuccessful challenge. Finch now with a seam. Finch dropped by Brandon Stewart, has the first down, and Bo Levi Mitchell saw Dominic Tavel coming at him and delivered the football to Finch.
He's coming right downhill, untouched, unscathed. Bo Levi Mitchell does a nice job of escaping, understands where his outlet is, and dumps it down to Finch. You know,
it's offside.
Yeah, and this is look at the last play here and watch it comes right in Bo Levi's
offside.
lap.
Montreal, number 10. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
This is something Finch gives you that Jerome Messam does not. Now, we've seen Jerome catch a football in the backfield, but he's not as elusive as Roy Finch certainly is. And he did that on his own, making 2 or 3 people miss and pick up the first down.
Momentum. There goes Finch again, outside, now kicks it back in. 5 or 6 yards that time. New Alouette, Brandon Stewart.
And right down here is, more pressure coming from the right side this time by Montreal. There's the pressure off the edge, secured. He bounces it outside, picks up 4.
Second down and 6 from the Alouette 48. Another quick hitter. A turnaround, what a spin by Mark Quay McDaniel. Whoa, and a first down.
In space, trying to make something happen. Bo Levi settling down here. Get the laces, stick it on him.
See how slick the track is tonight as well. Remember, we had a lot. Montreal tonight. Second and short yardage. And Bo throws to 89.
Yeah, he had pressure coming right at his ankles. I think the defender was falling, and Bo felt it, and he couldn't follow through. Watch, here comes the inside pressure right there, and he feels him right there, and he can't follow through. He throws a wobbler, but it gets to Daniels enough, and he falls right over the top of the defender. Never touches the ground, and Brandon Stewart throws him into the end zone.
Talked about the cool that is Bo Levi.
He's going to push him here, and then right at the last minute, he's going to push Adam to the outside and then snap here. And watch what it does to Brandon Stewart's hips. Right here's the push. There's the push outside. He opens his hips. He's got, and now he can't recover. Even the ball. Say that again, Rod.
You go ahead.
Asagio Adasi. There it is. That's a nice route, too. Get the defender out of his back pedal. High points it. Squeezes it with a couple 6 fingers. Puts it in his chest. Comes down hard and awkward.
Odiasi, who slipped up earlier on that Cunningham touchdown and swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
That's Derek Wigan, third-year player from Queens. That was pretty.
May have had to go to all the stamps again. James Vaughters.
It doesn't matter who. It's incredible what this defensive line has been able to do.
Hang on, they're going at it again. Yep, they've already had one ejection.
Coming off the edge right down here. Untouched. Get out of your stance. That's crazy. Well, Lafoyer didn't even get out of his stance.
James Vaughters.
That's a
Camps getting to Darian Durant now. Terrific tackle hunger program. The next food drive, July 22nd, and Stadium in Calgary. Thanks to the great folks at Purelator.
Imagine there's a lot to be involved with Purelator and communication and getting the job done there. Same with the Calgary Stampeders. Communication's key for them, getting their stuff together here in the second half.
Tackling quarterbacks in the second half. Darian Durant being sacked a number of times now. Roy Finch loses his.
Starts with from the top down. I'm talking about John Huffnagel to Dave Dickinson to that guy right there. Bo Levi Mitchell is 45, 7 and 2. Refuses to lose.
It really does start at the top, and for Bo Levi Mitchell, 45, 7 and 2 lifetime, 54 games started.
Oh,
was it not this day?
I think it was. A long time ago. That guy right there could go get it someday. Heck, he could happen in a half of football with Bo Levi Mitchell, and that's not a good sign for the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, John Bowman. This could be similar to what happened to Steph Logan last week.
This could just be a finger in the eye. So maybe some of the pellets, rubber pellets around the field often get stuck in your eye, and that looks like it's not going to stop John Bowman.
35. 5 more days.
113 sacks on his career.
Maybe a contact lens. Get some stuff out of there. There's a lens. It's high definition. Do some repair work for John
There's
Bowman.
more communication going on over the Montreal bench. You saw Jacques Chapdelaine talking to his star quarterback, Darian Durant. And they got to find a way to get some mojo back because Calgary has flexed their muscles here and Bo Levi's got the ball. Talking to Jacques yesterday, and he says the best way for us to stop Bo Levi Mitchell is ball control. And so far, it's been all Calgary here in the second half.
Keep Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps offense off the field. They will make you pay otherwise. Good angle here, and just takes the bounce into the end zone. Steph Logan's going to have to go back and watches it bounce through. So the Stamps get 1 point on that kick. Maver wanted the corner, but on Mount Royal, McGill, home of the Redmond, Percival Molson Stadium, home of the Montreal Alouettes. 1 point ball game, single by Rob Maver. Difference right now. Durant trying to deliver. And he does. Ernest Jackson went backwards. But they'll likely give him some progression here.
These are the guys that absolutely been amazing me. Devon Claybrook's defensive coordinator for Calgary, his interior linemen are just taking it. That is seven interior linemen. They have 4 in the field now, plus they have 4 in reserve. They got 15 D linemen on the roster right now in some capacity.
Durant put his head down, had a duck for cover. Nobody was home. Pocket closed and took off.
And oftentimes you saw Singletary, Alex Singleton right there.
From the Calgary Stampeders, Malik Harris in on the play.
Now you watch Singleton. He's going to come right off the edge. Watch him. Get there. And chase. And then here's Harris, open field on Sutton. Not easy to do. Stopping him a yard short, forcing a punt by Boris Beatty.
Crowd voiced their displeasure. They wanted the Alouettes to go for it.
I like this call by Jacques Chapdelaine because, boy, Calgary, you don't make that. Calgary's in instant field position, ready to score more points.
For the Stampeder star. Can't see it from that position, but trust me, these guys got the makeup tonight. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
No doubt about it, Rod. You said earlier in the game, Kyrie Bears war paint. Yes, it's up tonight as well. But Gabriel Napton and Joshua Bell with the Alouettes and Stampeders respectively are known across the league. And we spoke to Napton yesterday. His war paint is a homage to the old WWE or WWF wrestler, however you want to look at it, Ultimate Warrior. But he pointed to Joshua Bell, the defensive back for the Stampeders, and says, that looks like Braveheart. And 3 dashes under his right eye, 1 under his left eye. We're coming close to the year anniversary of Mylan Hicks's untimely death, and Bell says, when I have my war paint on, my mind's in a different area, guys.
Up the middle goes Finch. Gabe Napton right in on that, the Ultimate Warrior. Why does 55 wear the paint?
I get real geeked up before a game. After I throw that on, sometimes I got to sit back and go, okay, because it's still, 30 minutes before kickoff, and I'm in there shaking, getting ready to go, getting fired up, and I got to go, hey, okay, we still got
for a pickup of 25.
Yeah, so after that great punt by Boris Beatty, Calgary in a couple plays is back to where the line of scrimmage was, and Marquay McDaniel finding some open space at the top of the field. make the defender miss, picking up what he can before stepping out of bounds. Calgary's on a roll here in the third quarter.
Daniel with the eye black, the eye patches, and I guess kind of that's where that paint started a few years ago. Protected from the sun. Here comes the blitz again, and Tavares Daniels taking off in stride, and Daniels another first down, and some rhythm right now for Bo Levi Mitchell and his offense.
Well, yeah, but that rhythm is also in the play calling, because we've seen Montreal with aggression in the third quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell, cool, calm, and collected here on this drive, finding his receivers. Watch Napton, bottom of your screen. Big man right on the Federkiel. That was 6'8". That was about 340. Forces Bo outside, and Bo found his man.
Warrior could not get him that time. Had a false start here. Minute 16 to go, third quarter.
It's been all Montreal seemingly in the third quarter, really turned things around, making halftime adjustments. And Noel Thorpe right.
Calgary, number 58. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Yeah, excuse me, Calgary, all Calgary here in the third quarter. And Noel Thorpe's defense is on their.
Stamps have been very successful in this third quarter on second down conversions. 2nd and 8 coming up here. Weren't so good in the first half. Bo fires. And Tavares Daniels cannot hang on, and Daniels tried to snare that, and so Rene Paredes has now 4 points. Last 3 years. Friday Night Football rolls on from Montreal in a moment. I'll get some back.
Well, they got to sustain some drives themselves. Other than that big long gain, first play of the ball game, you take that chunk of change out of the Montreal total, and it's all the Calgary Stampeders offensively. The whole idea of keep the ball away from Calgary has not worked here for the Alouettes. They need to get that done here in the fourth quarter.
Darian Durant again has not been on the field very much with his offense. Stamps own time of possession. Montreal after the field goal starts at their 35. Quick hitter on the far side.
I like that. Feed it to Ejak and let him do his thing. And Terrell Sutton's been here. And Alex just filled it quickly. Well, you talk about a guy that's a quick study. Last year, incredible. Displaced a really good linebacker in Reed and took over that position. Hasn't relinquished it. Has been an all-star ever since.
Filled in for Juwan Simpson. Such a mainstay, the anchor, the pillar in the middle. Here comes Singleton again, 49. Durant, though, goes chucking. It's short, but it might be caught. It is by P.J. Cunningham from his knees. There is a penalty flag down.
A couple of them. One
in the backfield. I think Durant took a hit as he threw the foot. So we again had offsetting calls here, but it looked like Durant took a shot, unless this is also a hold in the backfield. Let's take a look. Right there. No, did not. So maybe that's a hold there.
Holding.
Yep.
Montreal, number
there
65.
That's a hold.
Major foul, roughing the passer.
Oh, and there's
Calgary,
a rough too.
Number 98. Pass interference. Calgary, number 32. Will balance at PLS, 15, automatic first down.
So he was held, and then he got a piece of Durant's helmet.
Yeah, it's a lot going on there. No wonder it took them a little while. 3 different penalties, and they sorted it out. And here's a look at what happened downfield. Ball's underthrown. Darian had heat in the kitchen. Couldn't get his on it as he wanted. Frank. Bottom of your screen.
Signed on Monday, man.
Just hustling. I mean, a great one-arm just check into the right tackle's chest plate and just drives him back and then comes underneath as Darian tries to escape up the middle. I'm impressed what Devon Claybrooks is doing with this patchwork group.
2nd and 5. Durant could take off again if he wants. He will. Looking for a first down, and a dangerous run that time. They had him in his crosshairs.
He felt that one.
Yes, he did.
That was Malik Harris coming in and saying, not on my watch. If you do, you're going to pay for it. Darian did.
This league is all about protecting the quarterbacks, but when you get out there, you are fair game.
That's right. That's where I lived. I loved it out there.
Chapdelaine wants one. So he'll have a 3-point lead if Beatty is successful. How about this run by Terrell Sutton? And you were talking about this, about how they went away from Sutton.
Yeah, give him the ball. I mean, he's special. And they did. And the offensive line said, thank you for the opportunity. And there's down block, a nice little chip up to the second level by 3:57 on that drive. And Sutton was a beneficiary of the big boys doing their job. Watch the double here up to the second level. Brian Simmons gets up in here, and you'll see even Nick Lewis come into the mix. Watch this. Beautiful job up front. Tandem block on the nose. Get her done there. Slip up to the next level. Singleton's taken care of. Seal him right there. Simmons. Sutton just escorted in the end zone by Nick Lewis. That is beautiful.
Terrell. Nice grab, Shinetti, especially in that raincoat.
What is that?
Oh my gosh, that is the best. That's his best catch by a guy looking like Inspector Gadget ever.
Look at him. Oh, that's his move. He told us about that move last night.
If he would have dropped that, he would have never heard about it.
He said Nichols stole that from him.
Look at this.
Watch this. Look, come right at him.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. Kyrie say bear like
There's a shot. Look. Took it in the chest.
He did not. That's okay. Well, he's protecting the raincoat. Way to go, Matty. Now Bull. Ballman. Jump ball. Caught. Kamar Jordan. The big play here on a huge toss from Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah, this is just throw it up and trust your receiver. And we talked about this a lot in the first 3.5 weeks of the season. Out.
In motion with McDaniel. Here comes the rush again. Nice play, and Jordan could not hang on.
That's just Montreal had nothing to do with that. Calgary just got in the way of themselves there, and that's frustrating. But you have to remind yourself it's early in the season. This is week 4. I don't care. I'm not going to bat there. Got to have that one.
Kamar Jordan again had some issues. Some drop passes early, righted the ship. See if Mitchell goes back to him here. 2nd and 10. Bo looking deep and nobody home. He was going back to Kamar Jordan. Looked like a broken route there. So Paredes comes back on the field to try and tie this up again.
Yeah, it's frustration when a quarterback's starts telling the receiver who wants to go, and the receiver's 40 yards away from him.
Ole.
It was a heck of a match today to get by Burdich.
So now it's Montreal's turn, and it's kind of bugging Matthew about that raincoat. He's the hardest in the house now.
Opportunity here. He makes a play. Coming left to right in your screen. There he is. Throw it in the hole. That's an easy catch.
In the rain, coming down.
But a timely one. Keep your feet.
So now Durant from his 50. Quick hitter once more. B.J. Cunningham, who's made a couple of clutch grabs tonight. That's an 8-yard pickup.
And as Tommy Campbell laying the wood as soon as that ball arrived. Good timing from the defensive back. That's a nice matchup on that short side right there. Tommy Campbell, big defensive back, good cover guy. 6'2", 6'3". Cunningham 6'2". Just balling.
Alouette offense that gave up a couple of picks in the first half, but has shown so much more rhythm.
Boy, this guy's been money the entire 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks of the season. Terrell Sutton keeping a really good back. And Brandon Rutley on the bench.
5 straight second down conversions after they went flat for a while. A little pump here from Durant. Now looks for Ernest Jackson. Oh, he did catch that. What a grab by Action Jackson.
Talk about a catch radius a lot with S.J. Green, a guy that was jettisoned away here, picked up by Toronto. He and Ricky Ray got a thing going on already, and now E.J. and Darian developing it here tonight, just trusting his big receiver. They said they were going to do this. Give him an opportunity to use his big body, and he goes up there and high points it. And
wow, off the helmet.
That's just insane.
That is a remarkable catch. This drive. For most of the season, chewing up the clock too, keeping the ball away from Bo Levi Mitchell and the Stamps.
Second response drive in a row by the Montreal Alouettes, responding to a field goal by Paredes, his 5th of the night. And here,
Sutton not getting in, or will he? No signal.
That is having a nose for the goal line. That is wanting it more than your opponent. He was stopped almost at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a great look at it. Shoulder square, bang, runs into 2 guys. Runs out of the arms of, who was that in the middle? Some big defensive interior lineman for the
That's a good enough description. So Vernon Adams comes in.
Oh, now secure it,
Second
ball's wet.
And goal, Sutton in the backfield. It's going to be Trying to make it a 7-point game again, and Boris Beatty does. Down Main Street. So now it's back to Bo. What a terrific ball game this turned out to be. After a 3-3 early going.
Yeah, you gotta love that. You gotta love EJ getting in the mix. Showing the folks here in Montreal what he can do. And he goes up and makes a tough catch over Deontay Evans. Very good cornerback for the Stampeders. Then Thick Nick running a dig. Get on your horse. 2. Love right there between his teammates. Quan Underwood, Federa's there, Cunningham's there. They knew it was there. Just had to dig a little deeper for number 9 and to give him a chance, and he stepped up tonight so far.
And how about number 8 as well, Nick Lewis, marching closer to 1,000. But this game's still not in the win column by any stretch. Coming up, don't forget the Red Blacks and the Eskimos. Second half of our Friday night doubleheader in week 4. Beatty, deep kick. This is Levels. Wrapped up. Brought down by Jalen Rogers. Downfield quickly.
First-year player from University of Hawaii. On teams.
One play before the 3-minute warning. Bo Levi Mitchell, one thing about him, he's been there before, been there, done that, won that. See what he can.
After every play, plenty of time to make things happen for both clubs.
Started as a defensive slugfest. Suddenly some fireworks here in the second half. Out pattern, nice pattern. Chip Cox makes the tackle. Kamar Jordan right near the first down marker. Ernest Jackson, big catch. Vernon Adams, the score. Darian Durant now trying to get his team their second win of the season. It's the 3-minute warning.
By Renfro right here. Opening up that hole. First time playing left guard. Wilson kicking out left tackle. Roy Finch exploits that big hole from the big old line.
Near their 50. Quick hitter once more on the far side. Tyree Hollins on the tackle. There's a penalty flag down. It's on the near side of the field as Kamar Jordan had the catch and was ripped down. I'll give him the yardage, but let's see what this call is about.
Legal interference. Calgary, number 86, blocking downfield prior to pass. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's a costly one. 10 yards taken. Makes the tackle and a big one.
Seamless transition for Montreal in this defense. Finding Tavel along with Kyrie St. Bear, Dozier, Chip Cox.
Mitchell's in trouble. Now here's Finch. Rally. Chase down. Brought down. Brandon Stewart in his first game as an Alouette. Swoops in as the rain falls here in Montreal, and it's going to be 3rd and long, and still with time left. So right now Dave Dickinson's bringing the kick team out and hoping his defense does a job here so they can get the ball back.
A job that they hadn't done well here lately, and that's getting Montreal off the football field, and they're going to have to dig down deep. It's been patchwork to
Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro.
Montreal Alouette team that a year ago on the last game of the season beat Calgary.
Is that a 15-yard no yardage right there? What do we got?
Is it no yards? Still waiting for the call.
I think this rain's kind of throwing everybody off because it's coming down pretty good right now. This could be interesting. 1:35 left in this fourth quarter.
It's killing our monitor, killing your notes, killing your suit.
Killing your hair.
Yeah, there it is. It goes.
Shinetti.
He's again. What a night he's had. A catch on the sideline. Smart guy with a raincoat.
I'm going to look at his shoes tonight, though.
Calgary number 46. That penalty's declined. No yards. Calgary 15 yards. First down.
So there were 2 penalties.
That's huge.
That is huge, and you know that Darian Durant here is going to be conservative. 1:35 to go. Another first down, and they could pretty much seal this away.
Yeah, this is when you want to go Olafoye, Blake, Brodeur-Jourdain, Matt, and Simmons. And big boy. Formation.
Again, if you're just joining us, it was a close ball game early on, just 3-3, and some changes in momentum in the first half when Jerome Messam left the ball game.
Could be the football gods raining on the Calgary Stampeder parade of 19 regular season wins in a row. Montreal going to take care of business here. Second is short. They get a first down here, go a long way in securing this victory.
But will they get it? Yes, they will.
Second effort. Second effort.
See where the spot is here.
That's moving the chains right there.
It is a first down, 1:23.
Just watch Darian take this clock all the way down, eat up to 20 clock. You take it down.
The Stamps as a member of the Alouettes.
Bouncing it to the outside.
Sutton hangs on again.
Nice job by Darian taking that all the way down, chewing up that clock. Big boys up front just munching that offensive line of scrimmage right now.
2 yards away from really putting this away. Alouettes will have a very short week. Head to Ottawa next Wednesday.
You got to dig deep right here. You got to get this ball out of their hands, stop them short. Do anything you can. Watch the interior here. Frank, Johnson, Wigan, and Bowders. Got to make it happen.
Got to make this happen. They go the end around. Ernest Jackson has to get there. And it looks like
he's going to be about 2 yards.
Yes, and suddenly it's going to Peters.
Took
exactly
a
the timeout. Just before the time count, so they're using every little bit they can. Jock was very smart in doing that. Get everybody out. Let's use this down to 15 and give Calgary virtually no time left. Bo Levi Mitchell, last time he lost a game, week 1 last season.
It's insane.
At BC, 20-18 when he started. They went the entire season, of course. And
Montreal looking to move to 2-2 and keep pace with the Toronto Argonauts and separate themselves from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who play tomorrow And the Red Blacks, who follow this. The 50-yard line. You got a couple guys at the center field line.
Yeah, you better not. They're all hugging and celebrating there. You never know what can happen in football.
I can guarantee it. Diggins has got something drawn up where going to complete something underneath and try to punt it over to one side and have people onside.
Sobo. And he just goes chucking. Durant, and it's over. And so is Bo Levi Mitchell's streak. 19 undefeated. The